Good evening, and this is the Tony Biachi Show with your host, Tony Biachi. And tonight, doing the WWE Raw review for July the 18th, 2016. And I've dubbed this the New GM's WTF Championship ending because of stupid ending. I mean, that has to be the crappiest ending for a championship I've ever seen. But I'm going to talk about that later. First, I just want to apologize for my last review. Because you heard nothing but silence at the end. I fell asleep because talking about the very end of Raw was very boring. I mean, last week it was a little bit of the norm that we have a fight at the beginning of Raw. I think that was a great move to do. But now, right back where we started with more talking. Because tonight, it was announced the new GMs for Raw and SmackDown. It's an announcement that they're bringing back the Cruiserweight division. I don't know if they're going to hire any of the Cruiserweights that are in the Cruiserweight Classic. And from what I've heard, the Cruiserweight division will be exclusive to Raw, which I have problems with. Well, one is it's going to be, I don't know, I have problems because the WWE can't sustain a Cruiserweight division the way it's run now. Those Cruiserweights are better off going to TNA to go in the X division than just do this because the majority of the Cruiserweights are just Japanese wrestlers. I mean, there's only a few American wrestlers in WWE that can probably compete in the Cruiserweight division. And it's not going to be the same Cruiserweight division like in WCW. Speaking of WCW, let's just talk about what happened at the very beginning of Monday Night Raw. Yeah. So Raw was in Providence, Rhode Island. And then we kick it off with Stephanie McMahon in the ring. But let's just say Michael Cole was talking about the rules to the draft tomorrow. Let's see. The rules are number 1, Raw gets the first overall pick. Number 2, for every 2 SmackDown picks, Raw gets 3 because they're a 3-hour show. But they're going to have more wrestling. And number 3, tag teams count as 1 pick unless a commissioner / general manager only wants 1 member of the team. Yeah, so let's see. So they can pick up the Dudley Boys, but if they want either Bubba Ray or Devon, they can pick either one. Yeah. And number 4, 6 draft picks will be made off of the NXT roster. So I'm guessing they're going to try to bring Finn Balor to the mix. Or Samoa Joe. But I'm definitely sure that they're going to bring Bayley into the main roster in the women's division. Consider the 4 horsewomen. But I think that Bayley really needs not to be in the WWE. Because in NXT, they know what they're doing with her. But if they bring her to the main roster, I don't know. And the way the women's division's set up, I mean, there's 4 or 5 women left in the women's division. That's Sasha, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Dana Brooks, Natalia, we haven't seen Paige in a long while, and we haven't seen Naomi or Tamina. And let's see. Let's see. So if they do this, then they should make the women's division exclusive to SmackDown. If they're gonna have the cruiserweights in Raw, they should have the women's championship in SmackDown. Yeah, just okay. And then she's definitely mad to the ring. She's about to tell her welcome to Monday Night Raw, but Shane interrupts the music. And it just turns to this sibling rivalry where they just talk back at each other, talk about balls. Like if Stephanie Man had balls and that slap in the face, he would have hit her. Or then she said that women's balls are bigger than testicles. I don't know where that came from. Then she made an announcement that the cruiserweight division will be exclusive to properly of Monday Night Raw. It's only fair because Raw is 3 hours long. God damn, this whole thing just turns to a similar rivalry just like it did in the past. Okay. And then Shane says that he's been striving as a general manager for like SmackDown, and everyone started to say these yes chants, and yeah, Daniel Bryan, yeah. Then Stephanie says that her general manager is Mick Foley. Oh, no surprise, since he's the corporate stooge for the WWE. A guy so hard on his luck that he'll just bend over and take up the ass by the McMahons again. And for what? And there's one thing that I really hate about Mick Foley, what he said tonight. That he said that he was responsible for destroying WCW because of his win. You know, because Tony Schiavone mentioned that their own Cat the Shark was to win the WWE title. Yeah, which led. Yeah, and they talked. Yeah, and then everybody was watching Raw where Mick Foley won the WWF title. Yeah. And what did they do after that, Nick? Had you lose in an I Quit match in which you were handcuffed from behind, and then they played a pre-recorded of you yelling out I quit. So yeah, you really did win the Monday Night Wars. And let's face it, WWE didn't beat WCW. AOL just didn't think that WCW was a viable product. And I'm guessing they probably made that decision by looking at the WWE. Because let's face it, Turner Sports, they have NBA, NFL, and now they got esports. Which I like to mention that this Sunday I watched on ESPN the eSport Evo World Championships in the Street Fighter V competition, and I have to say that atmosphere was 1,000 times better than any Raw, SmackDown, or any of WWE pay-per-views we've seen as of late. Oh yes, because everyone liked it. Nobody likes Raw. People would watch esports. And I hope they keep continuing with this esports thing. I mean, if you go on YouTube and you search for these tournaments, and everyone loves these things. I mean, it's been a while since I played Street Fighter 2. I mean, yeah, when they just made different versions of Street Fighter 2, you know, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2, and then they went to Street Fighter 3, which was nothing more than based on a Street Fighter movie, which sucked. Then went to Street Fighter 4, which got back to the way it was, and Street Fighter 5. And then they made an announcement of Taken 7. I don't know if it's going to be the final game of that series, but I think I might try to play some of those later on. But yeah, let's get back to this. And Shane said he has utmost respect for Foley. It gets good as Shane. As Shane said that he is free to watch Raw instead of watching Stephanie bury it into the ground. And he made an announcement that the general manager for SmackDown is Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan looked really different. He cut his hair, trimmed the beard. Too bad he can't wrestle anymore. Yeah, and these two guys. You know, Bryan said that he wasn't sure if he could come back and be in the ring because he loved wrestling too much. They talk about Shane calling him as the idea for SmackDown, about putting the superstars first instead of management. Yeah, and the fact that he says superstars, yeah, he didn't say wrestlers, he said superstars. yeah, really good change, Shane. I mean, if you look at Shane, he looks more like Vince McMahon. So it's gonna go back to the same old shit. And then Shane told about the battle lines between Raw and SmackDown Live, how SmackDown is the underdog, and he thought he could come back. Okay, you know what? No, because the WWE ain't underdogs anymore. They are the big bad wolf that wants to destroy other wrestling companies because they are afraid of competition. I mean, they mentioned that no one's competition for them except for UFC, which dominates because it's real. People love to see people getting hurt. And at least in the UFC, the main events are mostly in the women division. Well, let's face it, like a few of the main events have been in the women's division of UFC. I mean, how many times have you seen Raw or SmackDown have a women's division match as the main event? I mean, TNA. I saw the main event between Mickey James and Master Ray in a steel cage match, and that was the main event of Impact. Yeah, big changes. And he talks. Okay, you know, let's make a long story short. These two are going to be the general managers, in which I don't get it. These guys, Mick Foley and Daniel Bryan. I don't have no problems with Daniel Bryan, but yeah, they misused him. He should have been a multi-time world champion. I would be glad he was 16 times world heavyweight champion, but yeah, ran out of time. You concentrate more of entertainment instead of wrestling, and Daniel Bryan gets hurt. And Mick Foley, I'm a little bit disappointed. Let's face it. The first time I seen Mick Foley when he was Cactus Jack. He was my favorite wrestler back in the day because he had a hardcore style with him. And then they made it to Mankind at WWE, which I liked. But then they made him to do Love. Then he went back to his Mick Foley stage and all that. But they misused him. He only was WWE champion once. That's it. They didn't use him. And how many times has he been fired? I mean, he was a general manager for Raw, too. Or the commissioner. Yeah, he was the commissioner back in the day. And they fired him. Yeah, let's see how long he stays in this job. Then they made an announcement that Dean Ambrose will go against Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship. And the way they say championship, I guess they're going to have the world title at SmackDown. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the timing of the draft. In which because usually the draft will be on Raw, not on SmackDown. And I think that, well, we'll talk about that later. But then I made an announcement that they're going to have a 12-man tag team between John Cena, Enzo, and Cass, and the New Day versus the Wyatts and the Club. So it's Team Cena versus Team Lynch Mob. Yeah. And then the announcement that Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho will go in tag team against Cesaro and Sami Zayn. Another one, another tag team with these two guys, and I don't get it. How many times have we seen these tag teams go up against each other? Then it goes to commercial break, then it comes back, and we have this match. Then they had a promo at the beginning with Sami Zayn. He's talking about that this is the most important match he's ever had against Kevin Owens coming this Sunday because they might be on different shows. He has to beat him to move on with his career. Yeah. See, and that's the problem right there. I mean, if you had the draft on Raw tonight, that it would have been a little bit more dramatic. Because, the first draft they had all the wrestlers in the locker room. They had everyone organized. Because it was realistic. They made it realistic back then. This was stupid. And because of this, that a little bit confusing now. But let's go on. Okay, start off with Cesaro going against Chris Jericho, and Cesaro did this deadlift with Jericho off the ground, go for a gut-wrench suplex, and then, well, this match, it was good, but yeah, then it had Cesaro do some uppercuts, and then they get on to a point where it was just Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the ring, and they started beating the crap out of each other. I mean, this was a good matchup to the end where Kevin Owens attacks Cesaro. But then there was a point at the very end where Cesaro was doing the Cesaro swing to Jericho, and he was like turning him, but then he swinged Jericho into Kevin Owens, and Jericho's head hit, I think, Kevin Owens' knee. And This led up to a match at the very end. A pop-up powerbomb to Sami Zayn, but then Sami Zayn used his momentum to go for a tornado DDT. But then Jericho tried to roll up Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn countered with a roll, and he won the match. So Cesaro and Sami Zayn won the match. And again, I'm not. It was a good match, but I'm not excited about it because we've seen this several times. And I don't know how many wrestlers are going to be left after this because they can't use the same match in different shows. This is going to be the final nail in the WWE coffin if they do this right, but they haven't done right at the beginning of this. And then when it goes backstage, we see Daniel Bryan talking to Golden Truth. And it looks like they want to try to get him on the SmackDown. Then he walks away, and then he sees Titus O'Neil, Jack Swagger, and then starts talking to them. And Stephanie McMahon comes, and she says she's surprised to see him back. Then Bryan said he's doing amazing things with his wife, Brie Bella, leaving off the land and planting peaches. Wait, they're in Georgia? Well, it's peach season. Then Bryan says that he's back with a vengeance. Like the new Ghostbusters, he's back. And then Stephanie McMahon says that he looks a little like the doll Chucky. And Bryan said Chucky isn't bad, it's Ghostface. And he congratulates her and a new reservoir for insults and ruining Monday Night Raw. Huh. Wait, reservoir? Repertoire. I guess. No, I think it's repertoire. Not reservoir. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They mentioned a new Ghostbusters. I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, I watched Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and I've seen the cartoon series, but let's not confuse Ghostbusters. Let's not confuse the cartoon series of Ghostbusters with the real Ghostbusters, because Ghostbusters was a cartoon about these guys with some kind of crappy little old-timey car that talks, fighting monsters, these ghosts. They don't capture ghosts, they zap them. They work with some girl from the future or something. If you watch, I think, if you watch a Cubo, free TV, you can see that it's very different from the Ghostbusters that we in front of the movie, because the real Ghostbusters were based off of the first movie. That Peter Venkman, John Ray, and that's the real Ghostbusters. And then they had Ghostbusters Extreme, in which they had a new breed of Ghostbusters, but along with that female secretary, God, I forgot her name, but a little bit of a continuous from the real Ghostbusters. And now with this new Ghostbusters, I don't know whether this is a new version of the Ghostbusters. Oh, they say it was a revamped version of the Ghostbusters. So Oh yeah, there was a revamp for New Ghostbusters because they're basing this off of the original movie Ghostbusters. They had a library scene, but they had like new gadgets, better looking proton packs. They just got Slimer. Can't have a Ghostbuster move without Slimer. Okay, okay, then it went commercial break. Now, then when it came back on, the next match was Alberto Del Rio versus Darren Young with Bob Backlund. And it had Miz and Maurice on commentary. And it looks like they really are going all in with this Darren Young thing. But I don't know. I don't like how this match, because it was okay, not spectacular. I mean, it did some good moves, ability suplex. And then Darren did a top drop on Del Rio, but the Miz was on the ring apron, and he tried to punch the Miz, but he got off the ring apron. And then they were trying to rob Darren Young. But the referee was distracted by the Miz, and then Del Rio was trying to talk to the Miz, but then he pushes Del Rio to the Miz and go for the win. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're trying to make Darren Young great again, but I don't like the results of these matches. I mean, last week for the No One Contendership in the Battle Royal, he didn't eliminate Baron Corbin or Apollo Crews. They eliminated themselves. It was just on the ground because of what Baron Corbin did to him. And this, he won because Miz distracted ref and he bumped into Del Rio. Hopefully at Battleground, he'll probably win with a crossface chicken wing. Yeah, because I think that's going to be the ultimate ending. Darion's going to win the title. But let's face it, who do you rather have as champion, Darren Young or The Miz? I'd rather have Darren Young as champion. Because with The Miz with the title, because they knew he was going to do Marine 5. They should have had him drop the title so the Intercontinental title will be available to win. Hopefully now they can take that title off The Miz and probably do something with it. And then when it goes backstage again, you see Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon talking to Big Show. Oh yeah, like they're gonna put Big Show on Raw SmackDown. Oh, well, we haven't seen Big Show and any Raw SmackDown in a long, long time. And you think he's gonna make a difference after the way you treated him, especially in those Brock Lesnar matches? No. And then the main announcement that Charlotte and Dana Brooks will go against Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch one more time. Because the fifth time is great. Yeah. And then before the commercial break, they announced the 12-man tag team was going to be when they get back. So we go to commercial break. Yep. Then they come back and okay, I really hate it when they misuse the 6-man, 8-man, now 12-man tag team so much. But I did not like how particular tag team match started. Because it started with talking. Yeah. So John Cena gets into the ring. He's gonna start saying that he is fired up. Monday Night Raw has already been exciting. No, I think he was watching Monday Night Raw in 1995. Yeah, I guess he was watching Raw in 1995 because Raw didn't start being exciting. It started with talking, just like you're starting talking with this match. And then we thought this is a huge week. We have general managers, the commissioners, and tomorrow night we'll have the WWE draft on SmackDown. But wait, there's more. What is this? Infomercial? Trying to sell the network? Oh, wait, yeah, he was selling the network because this Sunday on the WWE Network we have Battleground. Oh my God, Battleground! That is the ultimate Cena burial pay per view. Yeah, remember Bray Wyatt? Remember the great burial? Because he was buried at Battleground. I mean, literally, he was buried. He was in a wooden box. Cena put the final nail in Bray Wyatt's coffin. Yeah, Battleground. Cena's pay per view. Because he gets to bury everyone, including Enzo and Cass. They thought this Sunday the club will try to beat up John Cena. They're about to realize they can't see him because he's got certified G's and this signaled Enzo and Cass to come in and. Okay, I really didn't get what they were trying to do. I don't know. And then Enzo says he has something he wants to say to Cena. He says the term "do not take this the wrong way" has 0% success rate. Tell the club don't take this the wrong way, but there are a bunch of with insecurities. Okay, I don't get what that was supposed to say. A bunch of herbs with insecurities. That doesn't make sense. It's not even a joke. It was nonsense. I mean, is he taking a page out of the Warriors book? He's a king of words that don't make sense. He can't pull off. As he says he knows that because he always judges a book by its cover because he's not stupid enough to read a book. Without ugly in the world, there would be no beauty. So, Luke Gallows, thank you for your sacrifice. Yeah. The only time women open up their mouth for him is when they yawn. Oh, God. Okay, so speaking of women, AJ Styles has a haircut like a soccer mom. How are you doing? Oh, God. It doesn't make sense. And all they ask for Carl Anderson, he is like Times New Roman font. He's as generic as they come. Okay. He'd hate to be the one to pull the nipple mouth. But the only time they'll beat them is on the 35th of February. Spectacular Skywalker pulls no punches on a mic. If they want symphony, they can look between spit and syphilis. Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay, that was just nonsense. Doesn't make sense. Oh my god. They are taking a page out of Warriors book. Wait, he said it was exciting. Oh my god. And then I say that's what he's doing. Nothing but spitting out punches. Says that what Enzo Mori that's what I don't know. And Endo just started running on the ring for some reason. I don't know why. And so that's what makes them such a great team. They are the best trio there ever was. They're like three musketeers, the three tenors, Nirvana, Destiny's Child, Run DMC, and the Wu-Tang Clan. Okay, first of all, I don't know. No. First of all, Destiny's Child. Yeah, you're talking about the final product of Destiny's Child? Uh, see, Wu-Tang Clan? Because there's a... And Cena says it makes no sense since Wu-Tang has like 20 members. And they tell her they need to get serious about Sunday. And then Big Cat says that they're like to have fun, but when push comes to shove, they get serious. And that's what they'll do on Sunday. As for the club, they're about to say the spell at 8 soft, but then AJ Styles music plays. Oh god. Oh god. Oh my god, this whole thing. Then you got AJ Styles coming down the ring. And he says if Cena is really going to tag with those guys, it's like Cena is setting himself up for failure. And he says Cena made the choice, so he'll give him a taste of what he can expect on Battleground. And Carl Anderson says if they really think they have chemistry, the club equals chemistry. Himself and his hot Asian wife have chemistry. Yeah. Huh. And Luke Gallows says that the club has spilled blood and sold out arenas all over the world. Okay. Yeah, the Bullet Club, not you three. Because the Bullet Club can do fine by themselves without those three idiots. Styles says that they are a cohesive team unit and a well-oiled machine. They are a team unlike these three scabs. And as it says that the club has, and he was just yelling out these hashtag crap, like hashtag squad. Not only are they going to hashtag beat up John Cena, they're going to hashtag beat up Enzo and hashtag beat up Cass. Not only that, they can hashtag beat up New Day, and then, yep, New Day comes out there. Yeah, that's a good thing. They avoided the lynching. Well, at least avoided a lynching from the White family. Oh my god. They got ropes and everything. Right in the back seat. And then Kofi says that is typically club talking about things I like to beat. Then Big E says that speaking of jerks, they had their hands full when they ventured to the White compound. And then Styles just says as if they should hide under their bed. And then say, what said they saw what the Wyatt family is capable and should. It should be scared, but the New Day are not noblemen. This Sunday at Battleground, they are fully prepared to show the Wyatt family why they are the WWE World Tag Team Champions. The New Day. And then Cena, and then Casey asked Cena to understand that how you doing. Ask permission to try it. And Wood says they have that he's a level 41 Pokemon Go trainer. Yeah, Pokemon Go is a little bit of app game where they use GPS and they go around and they can capture Pokemon. But oh god, you should see all the trouble with that Pokemon Go app because I mean these guys are going to people's yards doing this Pokemon Go app. One person almost got shot because of it. A few others got called in by the police. I should really try that Go app. It could be a Pokemon right here. Then, what is the style of these Pokemon names? Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, all these other Pokemon. And then they were starting to do their rock chants, but then the Wyatt family video flashes, and they come down to the ring, and they begin. And I'm not getting into this match because it's just... This was a very long match. And it just didn't make sense. And I don't like it. Then it's typical Cena thing. He gets tagged in, does the shoulder tackle, back body drop, 5-knuckle shuffle, and the majority of the match is just Cena taking bumps from the other team. Got to the part of the match where everyone just beat up each other. Cass goes in, starts taking out the other team. New Day then ends up fighting the Wyatt family down the ramp up to backstage. Then I don't know, because it was got to the point where Enzo was fighting AJ Styles, but then Enzo was about to clothesline Styles, but he ducks and hits Cena, and Cena goes out of the ring, and then AJ Styles delivers the Styles Clash for the win. Yeah, this was a very interesting match. Not. Because now they're trying to sell, like, maybe Enzo, Cass, John Cena are as a cohesive, but let's face it, they're going to win. I mean, let's face it. This is typical Cena matches. Cena loses. At Payback, and John Cena ends up winning at Battleground. And then we have these stupid commentators talk about the WWE draft and about the network. Try to sell the network. And I'm surprised that these cable companies haven't removed the WWE off of their pay-per-view. Because if the WWE keeps talking about how it's better to watch it on the network, how it's cheaper, they're going to try to get rid of the WWE off their pay-per-view line. And I hope that happens. And I said later on, a championship match between Ambrose and Rollins. Then it goes to commercial break, then back. And then there was a little bit of a promo by Seth Rollins. This was recorded before Raw. It was an empty arena. And Rollins talked about he will walk down these stairs night after night with his fellow Shield members, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns. And they said they thought they were going to conquer the world together, but they were just pawns in his game. There were sacrifices waiting to be made in his path to winning the WWE Championship. Rollins walks down the little stairs. He goes on continuing saying, like any great man, he's always 2 steps ahead. He kept Ambrose around to take the beatings, had kept Reigns around to dish him out. The time came, he cut his losses and became WWE champion. And so his knee caved under the pressure of carrying the company on his back. So when that happened, Reigns rose to become the top dog of the WWE. And it says the top dog returns at Battleground, but he lost his edge. Has his confidence been shaken? Is it how will the WWE accept him? Rollins says that Roman Reigns will never be the same. As to Dean Ambrose, he's a thief and a coward, and he worked harder than any human being on earth to return from injury. Is that he won the WWE Championship back, which he never lost, and Ambrose stole it from him. Ambrose stole a piece of his life, and then he goes on to say that he'll walk down the stairs every night, and a little piece of him once wanted to push them down the stairs. So it's only fitting that he'll be the one that ends Ambrose's dream run as WWE champion. And it says when he's fallen as low as he can go, he'll reach down, pick up his title, put on his shoulder, walk in the battleground, and prove to everyone that he, as far as the Shield's concerned, he was always the man. Yeah. I have a little problem with the way the WWE is doing this main event, because they could have gone 2 ways with this. One, they're going to the part where Seth Rollins insults Roman Reigns about the wellness test over and over and over again. But I think they missed out on a chance to try to resurrect Roman Reigns' career. I mean, the only reason why they don't have on Raw or SmackDown is because for some reason he is not very liked around anywhere. I mean, this was their chance to try to resurrect him. I mean, they could have did like a promo of him trying to recover or try to bring himself back to good graces with the WWE universe. Did a lot to try to rebuild Reigns. Could have shown him working out, trying to get back the edge that he lost, but no, they didn't do that. I mean, Reigns is going to be your top dog when Cena leaves, and you're just going to leave him hanging. So already they're going to move away from Reigns to some other guy. God, I mean, you could have did his redemption. I mean, just like what, in TNA when, Victory Road, his match between him and Sting for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, he was high as a kite. They had to end the match quickly. Then a few weeks later, Jeff Hardy comes back. And he talks about how he's fallen, he's made a mistake, and he begs for the audience and everyone to give one more chance. And ever since then, he's been going to The wrestlers backstage try to ask for their forgiveness. And I think that was a great way that TNA did with Jeff Hardy. They could have did that with Roman Reigns, but they didn't. They really missed out a great chance to try to resurrect his career. Yep. Well, what do I know? What do all of us hardcore wrestling fans know? We've seen it all, and yet they are missing the ball. And then they show Mick Foley talking to Rizongo. Shane walks up to Mick Foley. And then he just congratulates Foley on becoming the general manager. And then he says, well, why? Well, he wanted to work with his sister. He doesn't seem to see it last 6 months. Shane says that the word is Stephanie hired him for 2 reasons. One, the way that he identifies with the crowd. He can control and manipulate him easily. Then Foley says that he had a front row ticket to her rise with power and has his eyes open. The WWE sees a vindictive woman, but he sees passion and drive. She gave him the opportunity to run Monday Night Raw, and then Foley says that he has some talent to scout. And Shane tells him to have a nice day. God damn, Mick Foley. Rotten piece of Yeah, because Mick Foley was the commissioner for Monday Night Raw until the McMahons got him fired. So again, they reprise his role. General manager. Yeah. Instead of getting someone new to fill the position, you're getting one of your little stooges as general manager. Okay, then we had... Then it goes commercial break. Then we had a match between Sin Cara with Kalisto versus Baron Corbin. And I'm not going to talk about much because this was a very short match in which Baron Corbin won. And this was on a... Yeah, he won with the end of days. Then he started beating up Sin Cara, but then Kalisto came after him. But Corbin took him out as well. And I don't like what they're doing with Baron Corbin. I mean, this is just to show his skills in the ring. And they do his storylines, which was good, but let's face it, they really are dropping the ball with Baron Corbin. Oh, yeah. He won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but then what? He's been in a feud with Dolph Ziggler, and that was it. I mean, really. Baron Corbin, great assets to the WWE, but they're not using him right. Yes, I do with Sandow, with Brian. Yeah. And then we see a Charlotte Dale Brooks going. Because we see this Charlotte Dale Brooks going to the ring, so it's touch base and Becky Lynch. And then before with the commercial break, they made such a big deal about the video release of Batman versus Superman. And I just hate Michael Cole. Because let's face it, the idiot tried to compare weak matches to Batman and Superman. That's just pathetic. Yeah. Then they got back again. It was Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch versus Charlotte and Daniel Brooks. Yeah, this started good. Only it ended when Natalia attacked Becky Lynch. Then Daniel Brooks and Charlotte started attacking Sasha Banks and and then Charlotte delivered the natural selection to her. Yeah, and at Battlegrounds, Becky Lynch versus Natalia. And then we have Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the title, I think. And also, mention this, but they say that the New Day are on the verge of breaking the longest reigning tag team titles, which was the previous record was held by Brian Kendrick and Paul London. The tag team. Yeah, this is how you treat your women's division. Yeah, like that's gonna happen. And then you see backstage Shane and Brian talk to Demon Kane again. So I guess saying Team Hell No is coming back. And then I like this. Dean Ambrose did like a promo just like what the Shield usually did. Handheld camera. And Ambrose starts talking about he told people years ago to open their eyes and watch the Shield carve a path to destruction. Then Ambrose starts. And then he says how he made history by beating Seth Rollins for the WWE title. And even if he retains it tonight, he retain it on Sunday. This Sunday, his brother Roman Reigns returns to the WWE. He also expects Seth Rollins to be slimy. It doesn't matter because after this Sunday, he'll still be WWE champion. Then it goes to commercial break. And when we return, it got to my favorite part of Raw. Lana in the ring. Oh, God. And then Lana starts saying that she asked Americans to stand up and welcome the true American hero, United States champion, and her fiance, which means he's the only one that can have her, Rusev. Okay, well, that comment, the last comment she made, I have to say, shit, damn. Yeah. Yeah, Rusev's got everything. Got the girl, the championship. He's the all-American hero. And then they replayed how Sheamus beat Zack Ryder at SmackDown, and Rusev music plays. He puts him that super accolade. Then he yells out he accepts several times over, and that's it. And then the next match was Rusev and Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler and Zack Ryder. And that came to be where Ziggler beat Rusev because Zack Ryder distracted him. Dolph Ziggler to roll him up. I mean, this was an okay match. But everybody thought this would be the League of Nations coming back together. But then we got to the point where Sheamus didn't want to tag in Rusev, and we're hearing Rusev yelling, tag me, and then we had Dolph Ziggler saying, tag him. And then at the very end, we had at the very end, we had Ziggler try to roll out Rusev, but Rusev get kicked out, and then Rusev drops in the ropes, delivers that thrust kick, then they put the accolade for the win. Huh. Yeah, and then they went on to talk, the commentators talked about the Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton match at SummerSlam. Then they talked about how Randy Orton is going to return on Battleground, but he's on the Chris Jericho highlight reel. This, I don't get this. I still get why Randy Orton has to fight Brock Lesnar. I mean, he's returning, and so his return bout will be against Brock Lesnar. Comes back for injury, you go pump against Brock Lesnar. Yeah, that's doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, if you go by just having a match without any storylines, and you got it. I thought that Brock Lesnar still had revenge for Seth Rollins, considering that he never got his WWE title shot. You know, because of the rematch clause, but that's past, way past. So, yeah, I don't think the WWE's gonna put that title around his waist anytime soon. And then they show a clip of John Cena hosting the ESPYs. Oh god, no, I didn't watch no ESPYs. This guy now he's gonna be on the kids. He's gonna be on the Teen Choice Awards later on as host. I mean, seriously, see, this is why I hate AJ Styles in the WWE. They used him to resurrect John Cena, and it worked. There's no collective boos anymore. Everyone loves John Cena again because of AJ Styles. It left TNA. You could have honor. You could have stayed somewhere else. But you're gonna do this with AJ Styles. They're gonna use him to resurrect John Cena. That was their idea. And after he gets buried in Battleground, what then? It's going to lead up to a rubber match between AJ Styles and John Cena. I don't know. I mean, after the draft, I don't know where John Cena and AJ Styles is going to be. And then goes commercial break. Okay, then we see Mick Foley talking to the Ascension. Yeah, like those guys are gonna be a sought after team. But I guess they're gonna be counted as one, considering neither one are good enough to be single wrestlers. Then Daniel Bryan walks up to Mick Foley and asks to talk to Foley alone. And the session goes. And Bryan says he wants to have a good, healthy reception. Then Foley says that he has no hard feelings over Bryan's pop dwarfing his. And Bryan said that he hopes Foley won't be upset if next week SmackDown Live ratings beat Raw's. Then Foley says that he hopes Bryan won't be offended if Raw results are Twitter and SmackDowns are sent via smoke signals. And then Bryan says that he looked up to Foley, and he says that he has a lot of common. It's almost like looking in a mirror. Oh my God, look in a mirror like a fun house. Oh, yeah. He did say in a fun house. Oh my God, yeah. Well, they both got beards. That's one thing. That Foley says that he saw himself in Bryan when he was going against the Authority. Only it was like he was looking through the wrong end of binoculars because he's a small guy. Yeah, you're a very big guy. Then Foley says that they both overcame the odds and defied expectations by becoming unlikely world champions. Yeah, each became. Yeah, he became WWE champion once, just like Mick Foley. Yeah. Only Daniel Bryan didn't lose like a little bitch like Foley. He had to surrender when his injuries came too much. Then he goes on to never let anyone stand in the way. Right now, Bryan's standing in his way. Then Bryan says that Foley is standing in his way. They never fought in the ring, but they're fighting now. And Foley says that may the best brand win. Let the games begin. Yeah. Ugh, God, so much talking. And they expect the Cruiserweight division to help out? I mean, you had a full roster to put on Raw, and you think that dividing the roster is going to help you out? No. There's going to be fewer matches. Well, actually, they only have 2 matches per hour, so you got to have total 6 matches. Yeah. And look at the wonderful thing they did with the Cruiserweight title at the very end of it. They gave the title to Hornswoggle. And they made the title a joke where Jamie Noble was with all these stupid Bugs Bunny routines with Hornswoggle. You know, the whole box propped up by a stick with the something the Hornswoggle liked and all that. And the way Hornswoggle won in that battle royal and this. Oh, God. It's just ruined. The Cruiserweight division is ruined. It cannot be resurrected back to the way it was. Oh, yes, maybe the Cruiserweight class is good, but when you go to the Raw or SmackDown plan, it's not going to be that great. Let's face it, and none of those wrestlers could do what Cruiserweight did, or what TNA X Division's done. Because that was a great Ultimate X match. That was a great little number 1 contendership match that they had at Destination X. Although I didn't like the very end of the main event. Hopefully this week's Impact will be great. Because Impact's moved from Tuesdays to Thursdays, so it's still live. And so this leads up to the main event the WWE Championship between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. And at commentator's desk, we see Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, his general manager, and then we got Stephanie McMahon and her general manager, Nick Foley. Okay, this was a good match. Now, I said the WTF championship ending for a reason. I mean, this is a drag out fight for the title. I mean, these guys fighting. I mean, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't matter because they're both gonna fight for the title this Sunday. I mean, at the certain points where Seth Rollins did that running power bomb into the barricade with Seth Rollins, he tried to do that turnstile clothesline, but Seth Rollins sends him into the barricade. And then there was a point where Dean Ambrose was trying to do something on the table. This Seth, but Seth Rollins got out of it. Okay, and then it went to the point where Dean Ambrose was about to deliver a flying elbow to Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins got up, and in mid-air, he kicked him in midsection, and delivered a pedigree for a 2 count. And what I don't get is why these stupid fans are chanting "Holy shit." Is that a holy shit moment? I don't think the WWE universe knows what a holy shit moment is. And then what? And then at the very end, this is why this was a shitty match. Okay, so after the 2 count, Rollins tried to hit him with a second pedigree, but Ambrose gets out of it and he goes for a jackknife pin for a 2 count. Then Rollins gets up and kicks him, but then he did a rebound clothesline to Seth Rollins. Then Ambrose goes to the top rope again. But then Seth Rollins gets up top and does a superplex. But then Ambrose had him in a cradle. He counted 1, 2, 3. And the way I looked at it, all 4 shoulders were down. So it was a double pinfall. Then after this, it was just a clusterfuck. You know, that it was a Shane, Stephanie, Foley, Bryan just arguing amongst each other. All of them got in the ring, but then Stephanie McMahon grabs the WWE title. She announced that Seth Rollins is the new champion. Ended. I don't get it. No. The referee is supposed to make the final call. And then at the very end, you see Shane and Stephanie arguing outside the ring. And that's it. And I don't get it. It was a double pinfall. I mean, you could have done it like since both of them had a double pinfall. There is no WWE champion, and it will be settled at Battleground. But no, you gave the belt to Seth Rollins for what? Even the referee didn't make that decision. was confused. And this is the WTF moment. What did I just saw? You had a good match. You made this big deal about this event, but then you ended it this way. That you're gonna say Seth Rollins won, even though it was a double pinfall. It drives me insane the way the WWE is running. I mean, if it's a low-rated show, should it be canceled? I mean, you cancel Sliders. It probably had a better ratings than Raw. The final episode of WCW Nitro had higher ratings than Raw ever could up to today. That doesn't make sense. This whole thing. You said this is a new era, but you're doing the same old crap. You're rehashing the whole Stephanie McMahon, Shane owning both shows again. How does that change? And the draft, where Raw is going to get more wrestlers than SmackDown because it's 3 hours? Even though they had an entire roster to use, but somehow they were unable to get more matches out of them. This is awful. This is awful. This whole thing is awful. So we don't have a tag team championship match at Battleground. We took Titus O'Neil off, and you're gonna put Zack Ryder back on the momentum to become United States champion, and Darren Young is going to be your new Intercontinental champion. I mean, this is typical WWE. That didn't make sense. This whole thing with this rebranding and doesn't make sense. And so I got some questions about this rebranding. Does this mean that SmackDown is going to have the World Heavyweight title just like last time? Because they have to separate those belts now. And I'm just wondering, why did it go to the trouble of doing its unification? I mean, it's a waste of people's time and energy. I don't know, this whole thing. It's just, I don't know. The missed opportunity to resurrect Roman Reigns' career. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna have the same old outfit and theme music. So SmackDown's going to be tomorrow live on the WWE Network and USA Network. Is this a good momentum to the Battleground pay-per-view? Has the WWE done anything to make this main event enjoyable? Whatever the hard work that you guys have done, it's ruined because of this match. Because you named him champion, even though you clearly could see that all four shoulders were down. Yep, at Battleground, AJ Styles is going to get buried. This whole thing. You know what? I'm gonna try and find shows that have been canceled. And I'm gonna try to compare their last ratings to Raw and SmackDown. And I'm just wondering what made their why were their shows canceled and uh, oh god. I mean, we had some good matches, but let's face it, 2 matches per hour is this? They never really came up with a name of this new era. So, what is this? The Yes era? The Socko era? Well, I don't get it. Let's face it, Daniel Bryan can't fight because of his injuries. I really hope this. This whole thing with Raw and SmackDown, I don't know if it's good or not. But I guess we're going to have to leave it up to you guys to watch and see. So I'm just going to end it here, and hope you like this review, and I'm going to dedicate this channel, the Tony Viachi Show, to try to end the WWE, try to inform people about what the WWE is doing. Yeah, let's end it here, and hopefully SmackDown won't suck as much as Raw, but I don't doubt it. So, I have to say this. There are other wrestling organizations you can watch. You can watch TNA, you can watch Ring of Honor, you can watch New Japan, Noah, your local wrestling organization. It's not that hard to find. I just hope TNA just destroys Matt Hardy. I mean, no. I have to. God, you go sleep. But this whole thing with WWE. I just hope that the WWE just dies out. And I will try to find out why some of the best shows out there get canceled, but the WWE doesn't. And I'll end it right here. So thanks for listening, and see you on SmackDown. Do the draft. Hopefully, crap. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and good night.